Tell us why you're still upset.
Frank Mir had a horseshoe up his ass. I told him that a year ago.
Heavyweights come and go, but few have ever captured the imagination of the sports world quite like Brock Lesnar. A freak athlete, a WWE megastar, and a man who defied every expectation when he stormed into the world of mixed martial arts, Lesnar's journey is the stuff of legend. He didn't just compete, he dominated, bulldozing some of the greatest fighters to ever step into the octagon. Today, we're counting down 10 times. Brock Lesnar shocked the world, moments that left fans, fighters, and even his harshest critics speechless. From his jaw-dropping UFC debut to his wildest controversies, this is the story of a man who never played by the rules and always left the world wanting more. From WWE superstar to UFC let, as start at the very beginning, because nothing about Brock Lesnar's entry into MMA was normal. By the time he made his professional debut at age 29, Lesnar was already a household name thanks to his WWE stardom and his NCAA wrestling pedigree. But in the world of MMA, he was a complete unknown. No real striking experience. No time spent in live fights. Just a 300-pound behemoth with a chip on his shoulder and something to prove. Fans and pundits were skeptical. After all, size isn't everything in MM a lesson Royce Gracie taught the world at UFC 1. Could Lesnar really pick up the skills needed to survive, let alone thrive? In the UFC Shark Tank of heavyweights, the shock began early. After a 70-second TKO win in his pro debut, the UFC came calling. Lesnar was officially in the big leagues, and the world was about to witness something truly unprecedented, defeating Mark Hunt.
Brock Lesnar, he makes his return. Michael Bisping.
Well, we knew this was a clash of styles going into the event, and look at Brock Lesnar there, absolutely huge, but
the comeback nobody saw coming. After 4.5 years away from the sport, Lesnar's return at UFC 200 was nothing short of a spectacle. His opponent, the iron-fisted Mark Hunt, who had fought 9 times since Lesnar's last appearance and had just knocked out their shared rival, Frank Mir. Most expected Lesnar to be rusty, outmatched, and outgunned. But when the cage door closed, Brock looked as dangerous as ever. He used his wrestling to smother Hunt, controlling the fight and earning a shocking unanimous decision victory. But the celebration was short-lived. Weeks later, it was revealed that Lesnar had failed a pre-fight drug test, testing positive for the banned substance clomiphene. USADA had given him a unique exemption from the usual testing program, so he could fight at UFC 200 on short notice, a move that raised more than a few eyebrows. The result was overturned to a no contest, marking the last time Lesnar would ever walk to the UFC octagon. Still, the shockwaves from his return were felt throughout the sport. A respectable debut, facing Frank Mir when Lesnar finally made his UFC debut. Dana White didn't give him a warm-up fight. Instead, he was thrown straight into the fire against former champion and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt Frank Mir. Mir was a submission wizard with a ton of experience, and most fans doubted Lesnar's chances. But when the fight began, Lesnar came out like a freight train, bulldozing Mir with a massive takedown and unleashing his trademark ground and pound. For a moment, it looked like the WWE star might pull off the impossible. But Mir weathered the storm, grabbed Lesnar's leg, and locked in a knee bar for the submission win. It was a tough loss. But Lesnar had made a statement. He belonged in the UFC, and he wasn't going anywhere. UFC Gold, toppling Randy Couture some. Believed Lesnar had hit a wall with his loss to Mir. But Brock wasn't in the UFC just to make up the numbers, he was there for gold. After a dominant rebound win over Heath Herring, Lesnar was given a title shot against the legendary Randy Couture, a multiple-time UFC champion. Most gave Lesnar a chance only because of his size advantage, but when the fight started, it was clear he was more than just a big man. In the second round, Lesnar knocked out Couture, stunning the MMA world and capturing the heavyweight title. Even his harshest critics had to give him credit. Brock Lesnar was now the king of the UFC's most dangerous division. Lesnar's first title defense was a rematch with his old rival, Frank Mir, at UFC 100, a card stacked with legends like Georges Tippier, Dan Henderson, Michael Bisping, and a young John Jones. But Brock was the main attraction, and he delivered in style. Prepared for Mir's submissions, Lesnar dominated, earning a TKO victory in under 7 minutes. But the real fireworks came after the fight, when Lesnar grabbed the microphone from Joe Rogan and delivered one of the most iconic post-fight interviews in UFC history. He taunted the booing crowd, made a crude joke about Mir, and even took a shot at a sponsor, saying he might go home and lay on top of his wife. It was classic Brock, unfiltered, unpredictable, and unforgettable. The comeback for the ages. Surviving Shane Carwin. Next up for Lesnar was a showdown with Shane Carwin, the division's most feared knockout artist. Carwin was unbeaten in 12 fights, all first-round finishes, and just demolished Frank Mir to become the top contender. Most believed Lesnar's reign was about to end, and for the first round, it looked like they were right. Carwin battered Lesnar, nearly finishing him with a relentless barrage. But Carwin emptied his gas tank, and in the second round, Lesnar turned the tables. Despite being nearly 300 pounds and not known for his cardio, Brock poured on the pressure, took Carwin down, and submitted him with an arm triangle dot. It was an incredible comeback, a testament to Lesnar's toughness, heart, and refusal to quit, resigning. With WWE, the end of an era? After his battles with Carwin, Lesnar's career took a dark turn. He was struck down by serious illnesses, including a bout of diverticulitis that required the removal of 12 inches of his intestines. Back-to-back losses to Alistair Overeem and Cain Velasquez seemed to signal the end of his fighting days. News broke that Lesnar had re-signed with WWE. Fans were disappointed but not surprised. It looked like the curtain had fallen on one of MMA's most unlikely success stories. The shocking UFC return, Mark Hunt and the blockbuster comeback, but Brock Lesnar wasn't done yet. Nearly 5 years after his last fight, he shocked the world by signing to return to the UFC and face Mark Hunt at UFC 200. The announcement, made during the UFC 199 main card, sent shockwaves through the MMA world. Even Joe Rogan was caught off guard, struggling to process the news live on air. Vince McMahon gave Lesnar his blessing to step back into the octagon. And suddenly, the UFC had one of the biggest stars in combat sports history back for a blockbuster event. The stage was set for another earth-shattering moment in MMA history. A shady past? The steroid controversy. Long before Lesnar's MMA career, he found himself embroiled in controversy. In 2001, he was arrested for illegal possession of steroids. The felony charge was later dismissed when it was revealed the pills were not actually steroids, but a mix of vitamins. The detective in charge of the case later apologized, but the incident foreshadowed future run-ins with doping authorities. Lesnar's career would later be marred by failed drug tests, most notably after his fight with Mark Hunt. While he was found innocent in 2001, the shadow of controversy would follow him throughout his career. Confronting the champ, the Daniel Cormier face-off. Finally, we come to one of the most headline-grabbing moments of the modern era. After Daniel Cormier stunned the world by knocking out Stipe Miocic at UFC 226, nobody expected Brock Lesnar to make an appearance. But there he was, storming into the cage, shoving Cormier, and setting the stage for a potential super fight. MMA world went wild. For a moment, it looked like Lesnar was about to make yet another comeback. In the end, the fight never materialized, and Lesnar returned to retirement. But for those few minutes, he had the entire sport holding its breath, waiting for the next chapter in his wild career. The Brock Lesnar effect, a legacy of shock in all Brock Lesnar's career, is a testament to the power of self-belief, raw athleticism, and a willingness to take risks. He didn't just cross over from pro wrestling to MMA, he conquered both worlds, leaving a trail of stunned opponents and jaw-dropped fans in his wake. Whether it was his meteoric rise, his shocking comebacks, or his larger-than-life personality, Lesnar always found a way to keep the world guessing. He was never just a fighter or a wrestler. He was an event, a spectacle, a force of nature. What's your favorite Brock Lesnar moment? So there you have it, 10 times Brock Lesnar shocked the world. From his UFC debut to his wildest controversies, Lesnar's story is one of the most unforgettable in sports history. But now we want to hear from you. What's your favorite Brock Lesnar moment? Was it his title win over Randy Couture? His epic comeback against Carwin? Or maybe that unforgettable post-fight interview at UFC 100? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another episode. Thanks for watching, and remember, in the world of combat sports, there's only one beast incarnate,